us, when we meet, we must say, have you taken your jab? All of us, when we meet, have you taken your jab? So that we must, all of us, be vaccinated as soon as possible to allow for a process of reconstruction and re-engineering of the economy of the province and of the country. So it's very important that all of us be vaccinated, go back to our normal life. Who among us is not vaccinated? I want to take a register of the unvaccinated. They are the dangerous people. Who is unvaccinated? It's not possible. There is someone somewhere who is sitting and say, hey, I'm the most dangerous. You are a danger to yourself and a danger to us. Who is unvaccinated? SMA, are you vaccinated? MEC, are you vaccinated? Of course. You see? If you are unvaccinated and you think that the vaccine is a threat, can kill and what, and the MEC is vaccinated, and you are here to listen to the MEC, you must ask yourself the question, why are you not vaccinated? We have been vaccinating for 3 months now, if not 4. We have been vaccinating. We are entering the 5th, 6th month. We are still not vaccinated. Your conscience must speak to you. Let us go and vaccinate. Vaccination is very important. Take a single or a double jab, depending on whether you are using Pfizer or Johnson & Johnson. But the nurses will speak to you properly about it. Are we having the nurses today, SMA? We don't have, but go to your nearest health service site, whether a clinic, a hospital, or any other, where they have put a marquee or a gazebo for the purposes of vaccination, and vaccinate. It's a walk-in, no processes that are frustrating. Walk in, vaccinate. It's very important that we vaccinate. I will call upon the MMC for the Hertsibande District Municipality to come and give us a message of support. He's a deployee of the ruling organization, and therefore it will be befitting to have a Gwiji to allow him the space to the stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, Program Director, you see we're raising a question of who has taken a jab. One was making an excuse to say, if I take a jab, it might lead to my demise. But then one guy attempted to respond to that concerned and said, but who are you to be very much concerned about your demise when the wealthiest people have taken a jab? So what makes you to worry if uhluphekile njengami noma ungafa, it doesn't matter. But look at the people who are wealthy, they are taking the jab. So that could be the incentive that we must take a jab, all of us. Program Director, Comrade Ntu, the hosting Executive Mayor, and I'm not quite sure, Executive Mayor, whether to proceed with PJ, because PJ was raising a matter about this. But I will, because you are my Executive Mayor, otherwise you are providing me with services. The MEC for Finance, Economic Development and Tourism, the Honorable P.V. Mkachwa, the Chairperson of MTPA, Mr. Victor Mashiho, and the Deputy Chairperson, Umama Salom Stole, and the other member of board member, the CEO of MTPA, Comrade PJ Mabunga, and other officials of MTPA who are present, officials of DDET, MTPA, municipality, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, Sanmonan. The COVID-19 pandemic has further plunged us into poverty, unemployment, and inequality. Our livelihoods has been severely impacted upon. Karsibande, the Lion of the East. We must find innovative ways to tell a story about Nokuthula Simelane, about Nomoya Masilela, about Mahatma Gandhi, about Victor Kayane, about Sol Vusimuzi Mkhize, about Dr. Pixiga Isaga Seme, about Banim Lokwana, about Ruth First, and a host of other heroes and heroines. We should have found already creative ways to tell the story about the ruins of Nyibe settlement, the role Nyibe played in providing shelter for cadres of Umkhonto Wesizwe traveling from Johannesburg to Swaziland and Mozambique. We should have been creative in telling a story about our cenotaph, which has a number of struggle heroes and heroines. So, Honorable MEC, this is reason enough that we as Gersibande District Municipality pledge our support to this lecture as part of our awakening of a sleeping giant that is tourism, in growing our economy, creating jobs, and closing the gap between those who have and those who have not. You are indeed, Honorable MEC, leading the struggle as we have started in Delmas. The struggle against poverty, unemployment, and inequality. The route provides us with an opportunity to diversify our product. So on behalf of the people of Hersibande, we are pledging our support to this memorial lecture. Thank you very much, Program Director.
Yabona ngisato boreka. Makuphuma speaker. Ngisamele isanitizer. Funeka sibe sesicula. Kube ne vibe, kube vibrant. Ningathi niyomela mina. Nisayobhoreka. The program is running very fast because I know it's election time. And we are running serious campaigns. I am informed that Comrade Batabile is in Ward 2 doing a door-to-door campaign. And therefore, as a result, some of the comrades might be needed in their various wards to do a program. But we are also tasked as the leadership of different political organizations to go and campaign for the elections. It's time for campaigning. So I don't want to keep you here. But you must, in this short period, enjoy it, which is very necessary. It's very, very, very necessary. So as I call upon the board chair of MTPA to come and introduce to us the main keynote speaker of today, delivering the lecture that speaks to both these revolutionaries, Richard Hertzibande and Mahatma Gandhi. I will allow the podium to Ubabe U Victor Mashiho, who is a member of the ruling political organization in his own right and has chosen the path of business. One thing that he did that I think all of us must emulate, he ventured into a space that was wholly white, laboratories. And that space is a space that they don't just allow you the market. So you must fight for the market. And he did that. So let me introduce to you the board chair, Comrade Victor Mashiho. Thank you.
Inde lendlela esihambayo, inde lendlela esihambayo, inde lendlela esihambayo, wathi siyodibana nge-Freedom Day. Thank you very much. Thank you, Program Director. As you said, it's a short program. I'm going to greet MEC and say all protocol observed. But before I can introduce our guest speaker, I think it's important that I touch on one issue. When we were elected or chosen to lead the boards, both MTPA and MEGA, two young people emerged as chairpersons in both MTPA and MEGA. Now, surprisingly, after it was announced, I got a call from few journalists who said to me, economic freedom fighters have taken out a statement saying that they are very disappointed at the executive of the province to have chosen young people. I said to the journalist, you see, when you set up a vision and the vision is drunk, ultimately you're gonna talk things that seem to be drunk. And he asked me, what am I saying? I said to him, you see me, I was the chairperson of NAFCOC at VUT, 2003. I understand economics. I understand business. If somebody comes confused and say they are economic freedom fighters, where else they cannot tell you anything about the economy, know that it's a problem. I've said to the Red Berets, you don't deserve to be called economic freedom fighters. You actually deserve to be called South African freedom fighters because you know nothing about the economy. But anyway, it was me answering a journalist. Importantly, what our program director said is the issue of generational mission. And he had said to us, we have arrived. I think if you guys have not arrived, we have not arrived. We are here to represent young people, all of them. Svande, down that side here in town, to build about 260 social houses to the value of 133 million. Now, I've said to the mayor, we are going to use that project to empower young people, to empower women only. We'll make sure that you guys of this municipality are the beneficiary of that program. If I were you, I would clap hands. Amandla. Yeah, well, my job, let me start it before I go far. I'm here to introduce the real CIC, not pretenders to the throne. The real CIC of economic liberation in this province, because it's the MEC of Economic Development and Treasury. That's your CIC, not these fakes. He started his life, though, as a member of society. He grew into politics, became the COSAS chairperson between 1998 and 1999, became the branch secretary of the ANC Youth League between 2005 and 2009, became the ANC Youth League PTT provincial coordinator between 2012 and 13, became the provincial deputy secretary of the ANC Youth League between 2013 and 2016. I remember this very well because we were still fighting for 40% yaelo yompahla. And I know that the secretary, the former secretary of the ANC Youth League and the deputy secretary of the ANC Youth League are both MECs today. He then became the ANC branch secretary between 2010 and 2013, ANC RSC member in Tanzania, where I'm from, 2013-2016, ANC PEC member 2016 to date until we go into conference, Sanko executive member of Ward 44 in 2009. And the other important aspect, and I want to re-emphasize, I re-emphasized this thing yesterday when we were at down in Falcrest, yesterday when we were doing the other lecture, that I'm gonna give the educational background of our CIC to all of you so that we can understand as young people. If we really want to be the future, we need to go to school. NSFAS gives us the opportunity from grade 0, people don't pay. You've got free food, meals at school. You're using NSFAS. So we, as the youth, or those that are youth in South Africa, you've got no reason not to go to school. He was therefore, he did his grade 12, 2000, same year as me. He was in CEFAPS, I was in Nelspruit Private College. He then became the Nhlanzeni, he did public admin, national certificate at Nhlanzeni TVET. And I emphasize again, there's this issue in South Africa that is running where TVETs are undermined. I'll keep saying it again. TVETs are your engine to create proper industrialists in this country. So if you don't have TVETs, you don't have industrialists. So it's important for us to value TVETs. He then went to the University of Johannesburg, did a national certificate in local governance, very important for bekumela tjangaza nyalo if akanayo le, you know, le background. He then went to the University of South Africa where he did economic management sciences. You see, if you fail to do handwork and then you come, you say you are going to liberate young people in economics, you are lying. You see, you are lying. What you need to do, you need to back up your story. And our MEC has done so. Further than that, presently, as we speak, he is the member. Actually, let's start here. He is the member of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature because he is the member of the ANC PEC as we speak, which then also makes him the member of the Executive Council for Finance, Economic Development, Tourism. And you know, when you say finance, stroke, economic development and tourism, us, those that have fought to have this 40% yellow impatla, to have such leaders leading us today, it must put pressure on you. I asked one fellow who had close proximity to MEC. He was crying one day, saying, hey, hi, hey, solo wangena, hey, angitholi lutho, hey, hi, ngambuda ngathi hawu, M4. So wena ucabanga ngoba lo mfo ungenile lapha, kumele akulethele something brown envelope every day, kuthi na uyakufeeda na. Wangibuka emahlweni ngathi no. You need to be proactive in your space. Come up with proposals. Rather, you come to me, you say to me, I've taken a proposal to MEC, and MEC is not taking me serious. Now I'll take him head on. But if you just sit there and you expect miracles to happen, whilst you've got such leaders, you are not creative in your thinking, then you have got trouble. I'm saying this on the basis that as young people, let us have the solutions. Let us do the proposals. You heard what a speaker said here, our program director, that ngenekule sector le belung so analysis. And back then, when he was still in the municipality, he assisted me to achieve that because I had a proposal. I created a proposal and I took him head on years back. And he has been pushing and pushing. Today, he has me as the chairperson of MTPA. And I'm only chairperson because of his strength to take unpopular decisions. We've been fighting for inclusion as young people in the mainframe, in decision making. Had it not been for such leaders, hey, I'm not gonna say this because program director always tells me that I must tone down when it comes to issues of attacking the youth lendala, you know. I'm gonna tone down because I listen to him every day. But allow me to therefore welcome MEC Vosi Muzi. Bathini vula bavalile. Prince Mkacha. Thank you.
Amanda, Amanda. Elilizwe lokokobe, lokokobe. Elilizwe labantu abamnyama. Elilizwe Tambo. Elilizwe labantu abamnyama. Elilizwe Tambo. Elilizwe labantu abamnyama. Elilizwe labokokobe. Elilizwe labantu abamnyama. Amandla. Amandla. Awethu. Hey, mina ngateli yona lesa. Akateli yona lesa baseningendisa amanga manje. Because I was told ukuthi this is a government. Well, let me start by greeting Tikulu tonke letikhona la, from yourself, Program Director, to the Honorable Executive Mayor, Walaikaya, to our Honorable MMC from the district municipality, who's always present in our programs. Thank you very much, Baba. Let me also greet the chairperson of the board, Ubab Mashiko, who has just done a very lengthy introduction as the youngest chairperson of the board. The deputy chairperson, the leaders of our society who have graced us with your presence. Sanbonani. Ninjani. No, nathi siyaphila. Program Director, and Mahatma Gandhi, as organized by the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency, popularly known as the MTPA. And this is to mark the Hardsibande Liberation Heritage Route celebrations of 2021. This is a significant program for the MTPA under the auspices of the Mpumalanga Provincial Government
which will surely linger for prosperity, given that future generations must know where we come from as a nation. And Program Director and ladies and gentlemen, this program is targeting an audience of adults and the youth who are not necessarily historians and storytellers about the authoring and the valuable contributions made by the people's heroes, but of course, whose understanding of history will better shape and enhance their role as important influencers of society in many respects. And Program Director, the critical significance of this program also defines the dialectical relationship of cultural heritage and tourism, because they are closely related, since historic monuments constitute basic resources to attract visitors, both domestic and inbound tourists. I might not be able to be comprehensive due to time constraints in terms of giving the chronological events, which aptly characterizes the role played by these two progressive giants and iconic struggle icons of the people's liberation. However, I shall hasten to provide an overall outline of their salient contributions to resistance against the apartheid and colonial disorder, and introduce our audience to a picture that can obviously be augmented and supplemented much anticipated local government elections, which are scheduled to take place on the 1st of November. And as we approach that day, we must be cognizant of the significant contributions made by the two icons we are celebrating today in making sure that we have the right to vote. They, like other struggle icons, have fought immensely for the universal